जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा श्री चैतन्य मंगल की जय। श्रील लोचन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I welcome you to today's Sri Chaitanya Mangal reading. Today is the 28th session, and we are going to read Song 10 from the Balya Lila. So yesterday we read Song 9, where Sachimata was taking a plate full of food preparations in order to observe a vrata for goddess Shashti. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, little Nimai, just takes the food and puts in his mouth and then instructs his mother how, if we satisfy the Supreme Lord, the entire creation, all the three worlds, the demigods, everyone is satisfied. So today we will read the next song. On another day, Sachi's son was playing in the dust of the royal path. So you remember, Balya Lila means Mahaprabhu is less than 5 years old. So he was playing in the dust of the royal path. His body was like a golden mountain covered with dust. He was accompanied by his friends. Child after child played in the dust. One moment, they hurled insults at each other. The next moment, their bodies clothed only by the four directions, they fought in the battlefield of dust. They were all the same age. Assembled together, their hearts beat as one. Because of the great effort they put into their playing, they were covered with drops of perspiration. So these are little boys who were not even wearing clothes, because small children, like toddlers, they don't even wear clothes. They just play around. And they were playing in the dust. And how were they playing? So they would be like, I guess, wrestling and taking turns rolling in the dust. And they were fighting with each other, insulting each other, and being completely covered, fighting in that battlefield of dust. And also because of the effort that they were putting in this activity, there were drops of perspiration on their bodies. Together they played and played. They would hide and then suddenly appear on the path. So this is the royal path. So the path where all mm, the king's people would walk to go to the court. So they were playing on that path, playing, and they would hide sometimes and suddenly appear on the path. At that time, accompanied by his followers, a Pandit, learned in the path of jnana, walked down that path, gesturing with his hands and moving his head. He was explaining the Yoga Shastras, like that. He's explaining the Yoga Shastras. Seeing this, Lord Vishwambar, imitating his words and gestures, followed behind him. So this Pandit Gyani was walking on that road and he's talking as if, like he's explaining. Maybe he had someone else with him. So he's explaining the Yoga Shastras with his finger pointing and his head moving or making gestures with his hands. He's talking, explaining, and walking. And Nimai follows behind him, imitating his words as well as his gestures. From the corner of his eye, glancing at the Lord, the physician Murari continued his explanation of yoga. Oh, so this is not just some Pandit, this is Murari Gupta, the physician Murari. So he was explaining the Yoga Sutras and he was walking, and Nimai is following behind, imitating him. And Murari, from the corner of his eye, glanced and noticed that Nimai is imitating him. To Lord Vishwambar, he spoke about yoga. He spoke as if his hand was stuck in his mouth. What does that mean? Hand stuck in his mouth? Ah. Oh, so maybe he was stuttering, or maybe he was muffled. What is not that his hand was actually there, but when he was talking, it was as if his hand was stuck in the mouth and he's not speaking clearly. So either way, it sounded like, he was speaking with the hand stuck in the mouth. So they were all making fun of him, and he was speaking constantly. He was speaking, and he was speaking to Lord Vishwambar. He was speaking to Gauranga Mahaprabhu about yoga. He spoke as if his hand was stuck in his mouth. Again and again, Lord Gaura Hari and the boys mocked him. And as he was talking, they were making fun of him. Seeing that he was being mocked, the physician Murari angrily said, "Who says this boy is well behaved? I see this is Jagannath Mishra's son. Everywhere I have heard of his glories. His name is Nimai." Hearing these words, Lord Gaura Hari, out of kindness to his followers, became angry. So what did Murari do? Murari Gupta? He said, because he noticed that Lord Gaura is making fun of him along with the boys. So he said, "Who says this boy is well behaved? Because I heard about his glories, that he's so well behaved and he's so wonderful. I know this is Jagannath Mishra's son, and I have heard of his glories. His name is Nimai, but he's not well behaved." That's his point. And when Lord Gauranga heard these words, he became angry. Why did he become angry? Out of kindness for his followers, he became angry. Knitting his eyebrows. Knitting his eyebrows means, out of anger, like bringing the eyebrows together. Knitting his eyebrows, eloquent Lord Gaurahari said, "When you take your meal, I will teach you something." So, did we understand what happened? Murari Gupta is walking on the royal path and he's explaining the Yoga Shastra. And he's making gestures, and he's talking, he's explaining Yoga Shastra. Gaura Hari makes fun of him by imitating him behind him. And he goes on, and the other boys, seeing this, they're all laughing, they're mocking. Murari Gupta is explaining the Yoga Shastra, and everyone else is laughing at him because of Gaura Hari mocking him. So, what happened then? Seeing that he was being mocked, he became angry and he said, "Who says this Nimai is well behaved? Everyone glorifies him. I've heard his glories. He's Jagannath Mishra's son, but who says he's well behaved?" So then Mahaprabhu said, "I'm going to teach you a lesson today." He became angry, and angrily he said, "When you take your prasadam today, I'm going to teach you something." Hearing these words, Murari thought within his heart filled with wonder. He returned to his home. He started wondering, I wonder what he's going to teach me when I take my meal today. Thinking like this, he went home. Absorbed in his household duties, he forgot what had happened. Then he just went on, and then he got, absorbed in his other activities, and he forgot about what Nimai had said. Then the time for his meal came. Lord Vishwambar Hari clad himself in opulent garments, tied a sash about his waist, tied his hair in a triple top knot, and placed about his neck a string of tulsi beads and another string of great pearls. So basically, Lord Gauranga dressed himself like an artist on the stage, like a drama artist or something, wearing, bright colored clothes and ornamented elaborately, and, with a waistband and the hair tied in a top knot, and wearing necklaces, tulsi beads, like that. So Lord Vishwambar Hari clad himself in opulent garments, tied a sash about his waist, tied his hair in a triple top knot, and placed about his neck a string of tulsi beads and another string of great pearls. What else? He anointed his eyes with black kajal. There was mascara, black kajal. Tied his hair 5 times. He tied his hair 5 times and decorated his body with glistening golden ornaments. So he put kajal, like makeup. So that's why people wouldn't be able to recognize him. So, he had kajal and tied his hair 5 times uh, and decorated his body with glistening golden ornaments. On his feet, he placed anklets, and carrying Kira laddus in his hands, Lord Vishwambar walked. So, all dressed up like this, carrying some laddus, Kir laddus. I think Kir laddus would be like, uh, what do you call those? Laddus, like milk sweets made into laddus. In his hands, Lord Vishwambar walked. He walked where? To Murari Gupta's house. And Murari Gupta is now, he sat down to take his lunch. And Mahaprabhu walked like this, all dressed up, went to Murari Gupta's house. The king of physicians was taking his meal. So the king of physicians, because he's the best of the doctors, Murari Gupta, he was taking his lunch. He was taking his meal. With a voice like a thundering cloud, the Lord compassionately called out, "Murari!" So he went to his house, and at the door he started calling out, "Murari, Murari." Hearing that sound, Murari remembered what Lord Vishwambar had said. What did the Lord say? That I'm going to teach you a lesson when you're taking your meal today. So when he heard Murari, when he heard his name being called out, suddenly he remembered what Vishwambar had told him earlier. His heart was filled with wonder, asking, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Lord Gaura Hari approached. So he called out Murari, and then he said, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Saying like this, he came to where Murari was seated and taking his lunch. He said, "Don't be frightened. It is only I. Continue with your meal." So he said, "Don't worry, don't worry. It's just me. You can continue eating." As Murari ate, slowly, slowly, the Lord approached. So Murari was, so when the Lord said, "Don't be afraid, continue your meal," so he was eating peacefully. And slowly, slowly, the Lord came closer to him. Suddenly, all of a sudden, Lord Gaura passed urine, filling the plate. So Murari Gupta was eating in his plate, right in his plate. All of a sudden, Lord Gaura passed urine, filling up the plate. "Ah, ah, what? What are you doing?" Murari cried as he jumped up, clapping his hands. Lord Gaura chanted, "You walked away from the path of devotion, waving your hands and moving your head. You talk about yoga." So, this is the message that Lord Gaura wanted to teach Murari. Murari was so enthusiastically talking about yoga. And the Lord said, now he's saying, he's clapping his hands that I've taught you a lesson. The Lord chanted, "You walked away from the path of devotion, waving your hands and moving your head. You talk about yoga." That means you're so enthusiastic about yoga and you have turned away from the path of bhakti. Give up karma and jnana with all your heart. Worship Lord Krishna. Become learned in tasting the nectar of devotional service. Become filled with spiritual bliss. He who sees only matter cannot make progress in devotion. He is fool. His intelligence has no power to understand devotion. So, yoga can be uh, used to get Sayujya Mukti with the goal of merging into Brahman. If the Yoga Sutras, the principles of yoga are used for attaining Brahman, for merging into Brahman, then such yoga is actually the path of jnana. So the Lord is saying, you're very enthusiastic about yoga and you have turned away from bhakti. Give up karma and jnana. So what is karma? Karma means doing the duties which are enjoined in Shastras according to our guna, according to our nature. Like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Stri Dharma, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. These are the dharmas. This is called karma. So when one follows his karma and with the idea, if you're following your karma strictly with the idea of giving up all karma, then that type of karma is called karma yoga. That means the purpose of your following your dharma, your duties, is so that you can become qualified to give up karma. Then what will you do after giving up karma? When you become, so what is the qualification to give up karma? Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata. Mat katha shravanadau va shraddha yavanna jayate. Tavat karmani kurvita. Until that time you must do your karma. Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata. Until what time? Until you get nirvinnata. What is that nirvinnata means? A complete detachment. Complete detachment. That means when your antahakarana is completely purified. That is called nirvinnata. So until you get full detachment or purification of heart, you must continue karma. That means for one to give up karma, one qualification is complete purification of heart. And the other qualification, if you don't have this, then you can have another qualification, which is mat katha shravanadavva shraddha yavanna jayate. Until you get shraddha or firm faith in mat katha shravana adi. In you get firm faith in Krishna katha, in hearing Krishna katha. Why firm faith? Firm faith because when you get faith, firm faith, you will endeavor to hear Krishna Katha, either hear or speak or remember, or Adi means other limbs of bhakti. Continuously, you will be doing that. When you get that type of firm faith, then you are eligible to give up karma. So, for one to renounce karma, either he should get full detachment or he should get full faith, firm faith in the various limbs of devotional service, in hearing the glories of the Lord. Until that time, you have to do your karma. So, karma yoga means you practice karma while cultivating. If you want to enter into the jnana path, jnana marga, then you will do karma with the goal of getting detachment. And once you get full detachment, you give up karma and begin jnana marga. And the other path is bhakti marga, the path of pure devotion. There also you follow karma until you get the qualification of firm faith in bhakti, in the Supreme Lord. Until you get that qualification, you will be cultivating that. You will be cultivating that faith. How? By hearing the glories of the Lord again and again from Bhakti Shastras, where in the association of pure devotees, you will be hearing the glories of the Lord. By that, your Shraddha will be cultivating. But until you get firm faith, you must still do your karma because you didn't get the qualification to give up karma yet. When you get firm faith, what do you mean by firm faith? Firm faith, the symptom of firm faith is you surrender 100% to Krishna. So, what will happen when you surrender 100% to Krishna? Then you will simply do direct devotional services like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, etc., 24 hours a day. So, unless you get that qualification, you cannot give up karma. What is the Lord saying here? Give up karma and jnana. Give up karma and jnana. When can you give up karma? You can give up karma when you get either detachment or you get dridha shraddha, firm faith. But the Lord is, so after you get, if you get detachment, then you do jnana. But the Lord is saying, give up jnana also. Give up karma and give up jnana. Then what should we do? He's saying, with all your heart, worship Lord Krishna. That means you get the qualification for bhakti. Give up all karma and 100% surrender to Krishna with all your heart. Worship Lord Krishna. Become learned in tasting the nectar of devotional service. You gain bhakti jnana, knowledge about bhakti. You don't need any other knowledge. Become learned in tasting the nectar of devotional service. Become filled with spiritual bliss. He who sees only matter cannot make progress in devotion. But if you're thinking by practicing other things, with that I will now progress in bhakti, no. If you're only seeing matter, then with that you won't be able to progress. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam. You have to come out of all designations coming from this body. Then where is the question of, calculating and seeing matter? If you're seeing only matter, you cannot make progress in bhakti. He is fool. His intelligence has no power to understand devotion. Why the Lord is saying all this to Murari? Because Murari was very enthusiastically preaching and speaking about yoga. So that's why the Lord is saying, if somebody is simply interested in matter, never mind, even if it is not for sense gratification, but all your calculations are simply based on matter, then you are not going to make progress in bhakti. Give up all karma and jnana. So Lord Hari is supremely merciful. He has all powers. He is the father of all souls. From him, the eternal Brahman is manifest. He is the life's treasure of the gopis. Why do you not dedicate your life to worshipping him? So, why are you mixing this yoga and others with bhakti. You do exclusive bhakti. That's the point. And if you did bhakti, you will not be missing out on anything. You won't miss out on anything if you did only bhakti. Because when you do bhakti, who are you worshipping? You're worshipping the Supreme Lord. He's supremely merciful. He's supremely all powerful. And he is the supreme father of all souls. Even Brahman is the goal of Jnana Marga. So that Brahman, which is the goal of Jnana, is also supported by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means if you worship the Lord wholeheartedly, you can very easily get eternal Brahman also. From him, the eternal Brahman is manifest. And who is this? This is Krishna, Rajendra Nandan Krishna, who is the life, Gopinath Krishna, Gopi Jana Vallabha. He is the life's treasure of the gopis. If everything is available by surrendering your life to him, why do you not dedicate your life to worshipping him? Why are you wasting your time in other things? Where did Jewel like Lord Gaura go after he spoke those words? I have no power to say. All of a sudden, Murari Gupta had no power to see him. Again and again in his heart, Murari thought, he is not different from the Lord. Sachi's son is the Supreme Lord himself. So Mahaprabhu gave this instruction. So first of all, it's kind of, he shook Murari by passing urine into his rice. So what is the message here? You have such wonderful prasad of the Lord, prasadam. And in that, if you mix urine, can you eat it? It's like that. When you're mixing with your bhakti, when you mix other things, you have dependence on uh, uh, other sadhanas. You feel dependence on other sadhanas when you're doing bhakti. Why you have to mix other things? The Lord does not like mixing. He wants you to take full shelter of him only. Mam ekam, he says, only me, sharanam braja. You surrender only to me. Sarva dharman parityajya. Give up all other dharmas, karmas, jnana, yoga, everything. Give up. Sarva dharman parityajya. Mam ekam sharanam braja. You surrender only to me. This is his demand. That's what he likes. But if we mix along with little bit of bhakti, I will do, and little bit of karma also, little bit of jnana, yoga, and everything, then it's like mixing in your bhakti. When you're mixing other things, it's like mixing urine in your nice, delicious prasadam. It's not tasty to eat. It's not edible. So that's the message the Lord wanted to give Murari Gupta. So to give the message, he did this dramatic pastime where he came all dressed up. And first of all, he told Murari, and angrily he had said, you're going to, I'm going to teach you something when you're taking lunch today. You'll get a revelation. And then he comes, and then without, you know, uh, telling Murari, oh, it's just me, don't worry. You just take your prasad. And while he's eating, slowly, the Lord came close, and right in front of his eyes, he passed urine and filled up the plate of Murari Gupta. And he was shocked. He said, what? What did you do? And then the Lord said, don't mix karma and jnana. Actually, he started clapping. And he said, you walked away from the path of bhakti. And you talk about yoga very enthusiastically, waving your hands and moving your head. Give up all karma and jnana. With all your heart, you worship Lord Krishna. Become learned, not in yoga or anything else. You become learned in tasting the nectar of bhakti, of devotional service. Then you'll be filled with bliss, spiritual bliss. But if somebody is simply seeing matter, he won't be able to progress in bhakti. He is a fool. His intelligence has no power to understand bhakti. The Lord is supremely merciful. He is all powerful. He is the father of all souls. Even Brahman is manifest from him. He is the life's treasure of gopis. Why don't you dedicate your life to worshipping him? Saying this, all of a sudden, Lord Gauranga disappeared from there. He just disappeared, vanished. And the author, Srila Lochandas Thakur, is saying, where did that jewel like Lord Gaura go after speaking those words? Where did he go? I have no power to say where he went. I don't know. And Murari Gupta, in that shock, and while listening to those instructions, all of a sudden he couldn't see the Lord anymore. And in his heart, he was thinking, Nimai is the Supreme Lord Himself. Sachi's son is the Supreme Lord Himself. He is not different from that Brajendra Nandan Krishna. This is the realization he got in his heart. Thinking in this way, Rasapriya, we can hear here, it's being recorded. Thinking in this way, Murari Gupta hurriedly left his house. So he was eating. Of course, now he's not eating, but he's thinking. He realized, oh, Nimai is actually Lord Krishna himself. Thinking like this, he got up and hurriedly he left home. He had no power to walk on the regular path. His heart was overcome with bliss. Somehow he arrived at Jagannath Mishra's house. Hurriedly he's walking, but he was not even able to walk because he was in such bliss. Oh, Nimai is Lord Krishna himself. He got this realization. So somehow, with difficulty walking, he arrived at Jagannath Mishra's house. Now, who is Nimai is a little boy. Remember, this is still Balya Lila. So Sachi and Jagannath Mishra were caressing their son and they were saying to him, you are our nectar treasure. Wherever we go, whatever sufferings we feel, we forget all of them when we gaze at the moon of your face. Gaura Chandra, the moon, Gauranga. So they're saying, you are the nectar treasure. You are the treasure of our life. What type of treasure? Nectar treasure. It doesn't matter whatever sufferings come in our life, wherever we go. As soon as we see your beautiful moon-like face, all our sufferings disappear. Speaking these words, they both kissed his two cheeks. At the same moment, they both hugged him. So both on either side, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, on both sides, sitting on either side, kissed the two cheeks of Nimai, and both of them hugged him at the same time. At that very moment, Murari Gupta arrived. When he saw that, overcome with bliss, he didn't speak a word. Meanwhile, seeing him, Sachi and Jagannath Mishra became alarmed because they were literally hugging on either side together at the same time they were hugging Nimai. So it was kind of an awkward situation. So seeing him, they became alarmed. They at once stood up before their physician guest, Murari Gupta. Murari did not say anything. He had forgotten everything. That Nimai came and he passed urine in my right. Nothing. He just didn't remember anything when he saw Lord Gauranga. He had forgotten everything. He didn't say a word. He only gazed at Lord Gaur Chandra's face. He just kept gazing at the face of Lord Gauranga. From his head to his feet, the hairs of his body stood erect. I mean, this is hard to imagine, but all the hairs on his head and all other hairs all over his body, they were all standing up, like a jackfruit. They were all standing erect. Flooding streams of tears flowed from his eyes. So there were so many tears that were streaming down like rivers that they could cause a flood. So many tears. So flooding streams of tears flowed from his eyes while all the hairs were standing erect, and his eyes were reddish, filled with love. And he spoke with broken words. He fell like a stick before Lord Gaura's feet. Again and again he bowed down. So he would fall down, He would try to get up and again he would fall down in obeisance. And he would try to get up, again he would fall down. So again and again he kept bowing down in front of Lord Gaura, watching him and acting as if he did not understand. So now Gauranga, Lord Gauranga is watching Murari Gupta, offering obeisances to him again and again. So looking at that and pretending that he didn't understand what was going on, Lord Gaura sat in his mother's lap. Sachi and Jagannath Mishra said, "Ah, what happened? What happened? We see you are like a demigod. Please bless our son. Did he do something very bad?" So Murari Gupta, you see, he's a Pandit, right? Raj Pandit, I think, and a doctor, an elder, right? Compared to Gaurang Mahaprabhu, who was a little boy, he was a grown up. And he's coming and offering dandavats in front of Nimai with eyes red and tears coming out of his eyes, flowing like streams, flooding the place. Seeing this, Sachimata and Jagan, and he was sitting, Nimai was sitting in the lap of Sachimata, and here Murari Gupta is offering dandavats. So they're, what happened? What happened? Why are you doing like this? You are like a demigod, right? He's a Pandit, a very learned Pandit, a devotee. You are like a demigod. Huh? Did my son offend you in some way? Did he do some mischief? Please bless our son. Like that. Oh, great Shudra Muni. Shudra Muni? Acha. Because he's a doctor, right? The profession of doctors, physician, is a physician. Physicians are considered to be Shudras actually. But he's a Pandit. He's a learned Pandit, but not a Brahmana. Hmm. So, oh, great Shudra Muni. Muni because he's learned, but he's a Shudra. Because by profession he's a doctor. So, oh, great Shudra Muni, you teach the whole world. Did our boy offend you? Let whatever is destined to happen to us happen, but let only good fall on our son. Right? If he has done something wrong, let us suffer. Whatever we are destined to suffer, we are ready to take all suffering. But let our son always, let only good befall our son. Saying, may he live long. Please bless our son. They said, so why are you offering obeisance? It looks like my son has done something wrong, so don't curse him or, let there not be any inauspiciousness for our son. Please bless our son. And if he has done anything, let us suffer for that. Hmm? Did our boy offend you? So if anything has done, he's done anything, then please punish us. We'll take whatever punishment, but let only good fall on our son. Please bless him, saying that may he live long. You should bless him like that. Speaking these words, Sachi and Jagannath Mishra grasped Murari's hand and humbly bowed down before him. Smiling, Murari Gupta said, your son Vishwambar is the master of the masters of the demigods. So we are here, human beings. Above us are the demigods. And for all the demigods, there are masters. Who are the masters of demigods? Like Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, masters of the demigods. But your Vishwambar is the master of the masters of the demigods. In the future, you will know your son's true identity. No one is fortunate like you. In your hearts, remember my words. Your Vishwambar is the Supreme Lord. Like this, Murari Gupta told Sachimata and Jagannath Mishra. Saying these words, Murari Gupta spoke no more. He quickly left. His heart filled with bliss from having seen Lord Gaura's feet. He went to Advaita Acharya's home. So he didn't go home right away. He went to Advaita Acharya's home. He's in bliss that he has seen the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has recognized Vishwambar as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he simply told Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata that your son is the master of the masters of demigods and he's the Supreme Lord. And you're very fortunate. In future, you will come to know this. That's all. Saying that much, he left. But where did he go? He quickly left, and his heart was filled with bliss that he got to see the lotus feet of Lord Gaura. Then he went straight to Advaita Acharya's home. Advaita Acharya is the abode of all transcendental virtues, all transcendental good qualities. He is an ocean of all transcendental good qualities. He is the Shiksha Guru of all living entities. Humbly falling at the Acharya's feet, Murari said, to the devotees, you are like a Kalpa Vriksha tree. Kalpa Vriksha tree means desire tree that fulfills whatever you desire. So Murari Gupta is saying to Advaita Acharya, you are like a Kalpa Vriksha tree. He fell down at the feet of Advaita Acharya. Why? Why is Advaita Acharya Kalpa Vriksha tree? He is giving the greatest boon to everyone because he's the Shiksha Guru of all living entities. And by his mercy, Lord Gauranga came to this world, right? So he's saying you are like a Kalpa Vriksha tree. And then he tells, I have seen a great wonder. Jagannath Mishra's son Vishwambar Nimai Pandit. Jagannath Mishra's son, Vishwambar Nimai Pandit, who plays like a child with other children, is the most exalted person in the world. Hearing these words, Advaita Acharya, who is the jewel of the Brahmanas, made a great roaring sound. On every limb of his body, the hairs stood erect. Same with him also now. He said, I will tell you the secret of secrets. He is the Supreme Lord. His body is the goddess of fortune's resting place. That means the goddess of fortune rests in his body. He tastes the nectar of transcendental love. When these words were spoken, the two of them made a great roaring sound. Overcome with bliss, they forgot everything. Only fools do not believe this story. The truth is that the master of all the worlds mercifully descended to the earth. In this way, Lochan Das sings the glories of Lord Gaura. So Murari Gupta came and told Advaita Acharya that I have found out something. I have seen a great wonder. The son of Jagannath Mishra, Vishwambar Nimai Pandit, is just a little boy, but he's saying Vishwambar Nimai Pandit because he's the son of Jagannath Mishra, who's a great Brahmana. He plays like a small child. He's actually the most exalted person in the entire creation. Now, Advaita Acharya knew this already. Remember, when Sachimata was pregnant, he could see. Even before that, he was praying to the Supreme Lord. And when Sachimata became pregnant, he could immediately understand. And he even circumambulated her. Actually, he was circumambulating the Lord in the womb of Sachimata. So he knew it. But when Murari Gupta told him that the son of Jagannath Mishra is the Supreme Lord, Advaita Acharya, who is the jewel of the Brahmanas, he roared so loudly. And he said, I'm going to tell you a secret, the secret of all secrets. What is that? Nimai is the Supreme Lord. His body is the abode of Lakshmi Devi. And he is tasting Krishna Prema. And when Murari Gupta heard this, both of them together roared in bliss and forgot everything else. But Srila Lochan Das Thakur is saying, those who are fools, they don't believe this story. But the fact is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, Vrajendra Nandan Krishna, Radha Gopinath, Radha Madhav, he has mercifully descended to the earth. So that's the end of song 10, and we will end here. Thank you all very much. Sri Chaitanya Mangal ki jai, Srila Lochan Das Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.